Did you know that the way your companions talk to you in Baldur's Gate 3 depends not only on their approval rate and the situation, but also on whether you prioritize their company? I mean, you probably do know, but I'm gonna talk about it anyway because I just recently discovered this and I was delighted. By the way, light spoilers. So, let's take a certain early game scene for example. We just visited the Emerald Grove, talked to the Tieflings, the Druids, and recruited Will. lae'zel already talked to Zoru and she wants to find the other Githyanki. We go to camp for a long rest. 4 of our companions want to talk to us. Will only has a basic early game conversation about the tadpole because he's new, but lae'zel, Astarion and Shadowheart have some slightly more personal musings to share. lae'zel seems to be a bit homesick and treats us to a collection of atypically nostalgic and profound descriptions of the lives of her people. Shadowheart is quite happy about the perspective of getting Halsin's help, but wants to know what we would do if she began transforming. Astarion, on the other hand, carefully starts his flirting game. Now, my relationship with lae'zel and Astarion is neutral. With Shadowheart, it's fair. Nobody is ready to jump from a rooftop after me yet, so their approval plays no role in this. We have 4 exclamation marks. Withers doesn't count. What do we do? Who do we talk to first? Well, both Astarion and Shadowheart will punish us, in a way, if we don't choose them. It's nothing major or important, but their opening lines change depending on our choice. While they'll both forgive us for talking to Will first, because he's just a new guy with not much to say yet, and Gale, because he has no exclamation mark, they won't ignore anyone else. If you choose Shadowheart, she starts with this.
Finally, some good fortune. Come morning, we know what to do. The sooner we find the Druid house in, the better. I can't wait to get rid of this thing in my head.
But if lae'zel or Astarion get our attention before her, she opens her conversation with this little passive-aggressive line.
The leader of the pack comes to chat. What's on your mind? You must be pleased to have a clear path forward. The sooner we find the Druid house in, the better. I can't wait to get rid of this thing in my head.
Astarion's opening line changes depending on whether we're camping under the open sky or not. But he too pays attention to his position on our list and shortens the conversation if we don't prioritize him. The most famous and the most flirty of his opening lines is this one.
It's quite a sight. The stars, I mean. I could take or leave your chin. No. Just thinking. Reflecting on what tomorrow might bring. When we find the druid.
Of course, he's teasing us, and he is trying to confuse us, but perhaps the Starry Night is getting to him a bit as well, because if the camp is in a place where we can't see the sky, Astarion's greeting is much more straightforward and mean.
Do you mind? I was rather enjoying my view of the ceiling. It's something of a novelty. I'm usually quite busy at night, but now I'm just lying here and, thinking.
Reflecting on what tomorrow might bring. When we find the druid.
Still, we do get the additional lines, but if we talk to lae'zel or Shadowheart first, he abandons the initial small talk entirely and cuts to the chase.
You know, I've been thinking. Reflecting on what tomorrow might bring.
So yeah, this has no effect on our relationship with the characters and doesn't really give us any additional information. It exists purely for the flavor. And that's awesome.